What's up? It's your favorite Northern Belle, aka it's your girl Jour, and welcome back to another episode of So Hear Me Out, the podcast. Oh my gosh, y'all. We are in the third month of the year, and we are rapidly approaching summer. My lord. It is already happening so fast how the year does every time around, and honestly, at this point, we shouldn't be surprised. I'm not gonna lie to y'all though, daylight savings time has been killing you, girl. But we shall persevere and push through. Happy Women's History Month. Shout out to all you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful queens out there, and shout out to the ones who have paved the way and the ones who are continuing to do so. We appreciate you and we love you over here at So Hear Me Out. And this month we will be highlighting women in my life who have just been so influential to me. But today we are kicking it solo dolo per. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about my experience as a woman. You know, it's going on 26 years of this thing. And honestly, it's kind of like the race thing for me, you know? Like you don't realize that, oh my gosh, I'm black until later on in life when something happens. And that technically happened like, oh my gosh, I'm a woman. Like I identify as a female, a woman, blah, 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 blah. And that happened when I was older. As a girl, it didn't really, obviously it dawned on me that I was a girl. I wasn't a boy, quite literally, duh. But it became very apparent to me that girls are treated differently than boys easily. You guys know different companies have made campaigns with something like a girl, especially Dove. I believe it was Dove or Degree that they did a like a girl campaign, right? Throw like a girl, run like a girl. Things like that show that women are just as strong and women are powerful. We all understand and we all know that women go through different things just because of our gender. Y'all know the pink tax is a thing. The changes and differences in pay is a thing when you're a woman. There are many different things that women go through, but I will say that feeling safe as a woman has been a trial for me, if I could be very honest. I would like to think of myself as a strong woman and low key intimidating when you first meet me. I don't have the most pleasant face. I have RBF quite quite honestly, but I have learned that I am not who I think I am most days. What I mean to say is I know that I'm strong, but I cannot carry the world and I cannot fight the world either. When I moved back to the 757 in 2020, I had a series of events that happened that literally led me to feeling the most unsafe than ever. So it happened, I want to say twice in 2020, or once in 2020 and once in 2021. And then it happened also recently again. Men can be so weird. Some men, not all men. I was basically followed around on 3 different occasions in different stores and even around my neighborhood. I like to pride myself on being independent and being strong. However, this happened and it made me feel so invisible and so small to where I just did not feel comfortable walking Milo, my dog. I didn't feel comfortable going to the store by myself. And if you know me, you know I love to walk around. I love walking around the neighborhood. I love walking around stores. That's just something that I enjoy doing. And it felt like that was being taken away from me when those instances happen. I don't want to make this like a triggering episode, but I do want to highlight some of the things that happen when you're a woman. So this is just my personal experience. The one that I think stuck out the most to me was I was walking Milo one day and it was bright in the middle of the day. It was like 2-3 p.m. It was like a summer day. I was walking Milo and this truck was like driving past. So of course I'm not paying any attention to it. I'm just walking. But I stay alert. So shout out to the people who taught me how to be aware of my surroundings, because that's a thing that I've kept with me for a very long time. So I'm super glad that I had that. Shout out to you, you lovely people. So I went ahead and was walking Milo, and then I realized that this car had made a U-turn and drove past me again. So I'm like, okay. Like, I start looking for my phone because instantly I know I'm about to call the police. I'm about to call somebody because I don't feel safe in the situation. But I'm like, let's not be super stereotypical. I go to turn in because normally I take Milo for a very long walk. Like, we walk for about a mile. But this time I decided to cut it short because I just was feeling iffy. And I decided to turn the corner and go back toward my leasing office. And this car literally met me at my leasing office. Like, they drove through my apartment complex. I want to say that in the moment, I was so close to them, the two men in this gray truck, that one of them could have reached out and grabbed me, but I like pretty much ran. Me and Milo were running. He didn't know where we were going, but I ran. I found the nearest like big bush by my leasing office, and I just hid there for 3 to 5 minutes. I didn't move. I just kept trying to tell Milo to be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, because I saw them circle the block again. So it was one of those things that I just felt so out of control. And I felt so invisible, so small, so insignificant. Um, and it triggered something in me to where I became extra alert. I've always been aware of my surroundings and alert when I'm by myself, but I became extra like hyper aware of my surroundings. So when that happened, I called I called my cousins. Actually I texted my cousins because I know calling would have just triggered it a little bit more. I called my mom. I called my friends. Like, I called people just because I didn't know what else to do, but I also knew that these guys knew where I lived. So, well, like the general area, because they didn't follow me to my apartment complex, but like my actual apartment. But it was one of those things that I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm a woman, and this legitimately happens to women everywhere. And there are women who get kidnapped, there are women who get touched, there are women who they don't even get to tell their story. So it feels so unreal when I'm thinking about it. Like, thank God that I'm okay, and that, I feel safe enough to remain able to, I mean, I've moved since then, but I feel safe enough to walk around my new area, and I've gotten over that. But it's something that sticks with me because had I not been aware of my surroundings, had I not paid attention, those guys could have walked up on me. And of course, I thank God that I had Milo, because Milo is a bigger dog. And yes, while he can be friendly, he's intimidating just like me via the look. From far away, Milo looks like he's this very vicious, mean dog. But, once you know Milo, he is a sweetheart. So I'm so thankful, honestly. I was going to say so excited. I'm so thankful and excited, yeah, that I am able to tell my story, I guess. And while it's not super traumatic, it is something that is traumatic to me. So yeah, that, and it's not a bash men thing. If you know me, like, I was boy crazy when I was coming up, preteen, teenage things. But I also began to cherish the good men, the quote unquote good men, right? The ones who will look out for you, who have the purest of intentions, and who know how to not be creepy. And if they feel attracted to you, or if they think you're cute, either they're honk and keep it moving, or they'll approach you when the time is right. But situations like that happen all too often, and it happened to me. And that was the moment that I realized, oh shit, I'm a woman. And no, it wasn't when I got my period. It wasn't when I had sex for the first time. It wasn't any of that stuff. It wasn't like when I got boobs or anything. It was literally when I was older, living on my own, and experienced feeling uncomfortable and feeling unsafe and feeling small, because of my gender. So yes, that was probably the most traumatic part of becoming a woman, or realizing that I am a woman, a Black woman. But I will say, on a positive note, that being a woman, specifically being a Black woman, is my most favorite thing. Being feminine and being unapologetically feminine, being assertive and not taking anyone's shit, being who I am every day and loving that part is so important to me. I have thankfully been brought up and raised by so many beautiful, resilient, determined women. And thankfully, I have made friendships with people who are similar to that as well. I love you, Black women. I love you, women in general. I think we're art. We're walking art. It is just so amazing to know that I get to be a part of something amazing. And it's just because of my species. I'm a part of the superior species. If you were to ask me, I love that we get to do things that men get to do, but we get to do it with elegance and grace. We get to show the men up sometimes, and I love competing with men. And it's not oh, I'm a woman, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm Jordan, so that's what I'm going to do. I just so happen to be a woman. I think being a woman means more than just your gender. I think being a woman means independence. It means strength. It means vulnerability. And it means forgiveness. It means just superior. Honestly, if I could say what being a woman feels like, it feels like being superior. I have learned a lot, and I think that the way you're brought up makes all the difference. Absolutely, 100%. But I think that the women who came before me and the women who stand alongside me and the women that will come after me, we all have a responsibility to take care of the other women who take care of us. Oftentimes, women were breeded, quote unquote, to be competition. And the more you start to expand and learn about yourself and learn what's up for real and how society has created us, you start to learn and start to see that I'm no one's competition but myself. I'm just trying to be better than who I was yesterday. And it doesn't always come off the best. When you're a woman, when you assert yourself or create boundaries and you're stern on them, you're called a bitch. You're called bossy. When you're compliant and you are go with the flow, you're a pushover, you're a doormat. And sometimes it just feels like there's no in between. You have to be one or the other. And recently I decided that that's not what that means to me. I can be assertive and assert my boundaries, but I don't have to be super abrupt, super rude about it. I can just say no. And that's an answer in itself. Or I can say yeah. And that too is an answer in itself. And I don't know if it's for me personally as a woman, but sometimes I feel the need to over explain, to give people the entire synopsis or the entire idea of why I came with that answer when it wasn't asked. And I think I don't understand that part of it, because I know men who do that too. They want to over explain. They want to over, compensate, I guess you could say, for what they might perceive as being judged. But it's important to just narrow down your boundaries and your yeses and your nos and stand firm on them. So as a woman in Women's History Month, I am so elated to be able to share my little tidbit story with you guys, and for you guys to see me grow, not only as a creative, but as a woman creative. I hope that you guys are looking forward to the episodes we have coming this month. I'm so excited. You guys have heard, if not all, many of the voices that you guys will hear this month. I cannot wait for you guys to hear it, for you guys to see the visuals. Don't forget that we are still very present on social media. So I look forward to meeting and seeing all of you very soon on social media. Tell a woman that you love her today. Tell a woman that you appreciate her today. It's been real. It's been fun. I'll hear you guys out. Well, you guys will hear me out for another one. Okay, bye.